Good evening, I'm Dan Hagan. Wisconsin is losing local news outlets at an alarming rate, with 1 in 5 newspapers in the state closing just last year. Our own Shauna Johnson spoke with one newspaper company currently celebrating 150 years in business.
People say that they trust local news outlets the most, yet it's those local news outlets that are struggling across the country. I spoke with the publisher and an owner of a central Wisconsin newspaper who said although times are changing, they're not going anywhere.
People have said the newspaper industry is dying, and you've heard that over and over. I don't believe it.
Chris O'Leary is the owner of the Abbotsford Tribune Phonograph and publisher of 5 newspapers in central Wisconsin.
So it takes a village to put a paper together.
O'Leary said although newspapers might be changing the way they look or how they operate, they're far too valuable not to have.
People need local news. And I think the newspapers that are going to survive are the ones that are providing local news. State news, national news, world news, you can get that anywhere. Your local news is still important because people don't get that anywhere.
O'Leary said the papers that are thriving are covering local meetings, going to schools, featuring community events, and the news you can't get anywhere else.
We are not on 24 hours a day trying to entertain people. We're trying to inform people. We give them a glimpse of what's happening in their communities, and we are not trying to sensationalize things. You get accused of that, but it's like we are a reflection of our community, and because we live and work in our community, we're going to be accountable to our community.
O'Leary said newspapers are not as profitable as they used to be, but the work that goes into keeping the newspaper industry alive is worth it all to provide a sense of community.
Remember your communities, and the way they're going to survive is by sticking to local, shop local, support local. That means your businesses, that means your schools, that means your local newspapers, your local radio stations, your local TV stations. If you're going to keep your community together, we all need to work together and support each other.
O'Leary said although their papers are available online as well, many people still prefer print, and that's something they plan to continue to provide no matter how much the industry changes. Reporting from Abbotsford, Shauna Johnson, Newswatch 12.
Thank you, Shauna. Jeff